Hey everybody, it's Cody again. So this is the second video. I told y'all I wanted to run back and rewind back to, let's say, 2019, back when I was still actively I was still actively running the roads and just acting crazy. But when we're rewinding back to then, let's say July of 2019, my last month before my incarceration period. Well, at that time, I'm on the run from probation. I had a warrant out for my arrest, and I knew it. I was dipping and dodging, but I was actively still using. I was a full-blown down addict, along with just about anything else that I could get my hands on. And I was on the run, and I was using every string I could pull, every thing I could do to get high at that point in time and just to be well. It wasn't even getting high at that point, it was just getting well. But at the time, like I said, I'm on the run, steadily getting high, trying to find places to stay. I can't stay at my house because the police are always looking for me. Like, it was a very hard life to live. Like, now that I'm looking back on it, it's been 5 years since that time. But that time, I ended up getting caught up at a motel, of course, a telly somewhere. One of the few times that I ever stayed in one, but I had to. I had nowhere else to go. Nobody would take me in. Nobody wants somebody that's on the run, police looking for them all the time in their house. But, so I get locked up. I ended up getting locked up for a probation violation. That wasn't a felony violation. I ended up getting 1 year out of that. I accepted the year. About 7 months into that year, I had the bright idea that I was going to allegedly start smuggling Suboxone strips into the jail via the mail. Well, at the time, you still got real mail, so you could do it. It was going well for a few months as of an addict's point of view, but if you're trying to get clean, I was just abusing the system for real. And I was making people's lives worse. I was making my own life worse. Everybody was involved. But just about anywhere you go, you're going to have people to tell. There's snitches everywhere. And I got told on by just about everybody in jail. All the gangsters, all the cool people, everybody that thought they were cool as hell. Everybody told on me. I had like 7 different people, 8 different people on my paperwork. I ended up taking basically the main blunt of it, to where the other people that was involved wouldn't get in trouble to the extent on the street. And I'm glad I did, because their life turned out pretty well. And I learned a valuable lesson out of it. You know, you got to treat people the way that you want to be treated. I wouldn't want somebody to con me into doing that from somebody being in jail. But with that happened, 6 weeks before I was supposed to go home, I got indicted on, I think it was 11 more charges, something along them lines. Out of them 11 charges, needless to say, rewind that. Needless to say, I didn't go home when my release date came that April. I ended up staying in there. Court didn't happen for another 6 months or so. By the time I got said and done, I ended up with a year and a program on top of that. So I turned a 10-month probation violation, because in Virginia, at that time, you only did 85% of your time. That's 10 months, basically. I turned a 10-month probation violation into almost 3 years and some change by doing that. And but I'm glad I did, for real, because if I would have went home at that time when I was supposed to in April, I'd be dead right now. There's no doubt about it in my mind. My ex-girlfriend, rest her soul at this time, she passed away right before I was supposed to get out. And, you know, just a lot of crazy things were happening then. And deep inside me, I wasn't ready to be clean. I wasn't ready to be the Cody I am today. And so needless to say, I stayed through the jail. Finally, the jail shipped me off to a program that they call CCAP in Virginia, Community Corrections Alternative Program. And I went up there, and I was 29 at this time. I'm now 32, going on 33. So I was 29 at this time. And when I got up there, I made a choice that I wasn't going to be messing around. I wasn't going to be getting high. I wasn't going to be tattooing nobody. I was going to keep it on the straight and narrow, and I was going to program my ass to death. Do it until I come home. Stage struck or not, I was doing it for me. It wasn't for nobody else. It was for me. And I did it. I went up there and I did my thing. I actually completed the entire program early, and I got my welding degree while I was gone. But I come home that year in May of 21, I think, is when I come home. Don't hold me to it. But the whole point of the story was to show that if I can do it, anybody else can. And I went through all that. That's just a fraction of the last 12 years of active addiction, in and out of jail, prison. And that's God knows how many times we've been through this. But after I completed the program, while I was in there, I had a lot of friends from around here that were in there with me. And let's just say out of 10 of them, 7 of them kicked out. Everybody wants to act dumb. Everybody wants to act like they're on the streets in jail. It don't work like that, bro. So I went in there, I worked out, I did my program, and I went to school. And I ended up being let go 4 weeks early because I finished it. I was working in the kitchen as the paid baker. I was stacking money. It's a program where you come home with money in your pocket and the resources that you need, so you just don't go right back into the system. And my birthday is May 30th. I made a choice when I turned 30 years old to just stop. Something in me clicked. Something happened in my head. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was me growing up or what the case may be, but I know I got a 10-year-old daughter out here. Like, I have a full family that I'm happy with. Like, I've built a whole life for myself out here. I just hit my 5 years clean mark last week. So I'm super proud of it, and that's one of the things that's pushed me to do this also, because I know that if I'm able to do it, that just about anybody can. And I would love to help anybody that's willing to listen or willing to learn or willing to have someone else help them. That was a big problem for me. I didn't want nobody else's help. I wanted to do it all by myself. But I ended up having to, let my guard down and let people help me. Like, needless to say, it can be done. Just remember, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for anybody else. If you say you're doing it for your kids, you say you're doing it for your mama, for whoever, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work unless you want to do it for you. That's the one person, because if you're good, your whole circle's good. Everybody around you's good. But so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I just wanted to put at the end of this a shout out to JD Delay on YouTube. He's one of the main inspirations that pushed me to do this. No matter how many times I thought I was gonna look stupid on this camera, and how many times I've messed it up. Lord knows I've messed this same video up now about 11 times. But this one I'm posting, it don't matter. But shout out to JD, man. He's pushed me to want to do this and inspired me. If he can do it, I can do it. Thank you guys. Peace.